So it's now time for you to start writing some of your own JavaScript functions. So I've written a problem set with 3 different problems. Each one you'll have to write your own JavaScript function. So I'm going to introduce all 3 problems, and then in the next video we'll have solutions. So the first one is called isEven. So you'll need to write a function called isEven, which takes a single argument, which is a number, and it returns true if the number is even and false if it's not. So there's a few examples. IsEven of 4 returns true. IsEven of 21 returns false. IsEven of 68 is true. 333 is false. If you need to jog your memory on how you determine if a number is even, you can watch some of the previous videos where we talked about modulo. Next up is a function called factorial. So most of you probably don't remember what factorial is. I think we talked about it like once in my high school math class. Basically, you take a number like 4, and factorial is written with an exclamation point often. So 4 factorial is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that gives us 24. 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So basically you're going to write a function that takes a number and it multiplies that number by every integer below that, between that number and 1. So there's one small caveat, which is 0 factorial is 1. So to write this function, you'll need to have a variable that you're constantly multiplying by smaller and smaller numbers. So you'll multiply by 4, then 3, and then 2, and then 1, and you'll stop when you multiply by 1. So you can see a few examples here. Factorial of 5 is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 120. Factorial of 2 is just 2. Factorial of 10 is this massive number. And factorial of 0, remember it needs to return 1. So the last one here is a little bit different. It's called kebab to snake. So if you recall, there are different ways of writing strings, different cases. There's snake case, where we use underscores, like you see here, hello underscore world. There's kebab case, where we use dashes, hello dash world. So you're going to write a function called kebab to snake, which takes a single string argument that is going to be kebab cased. So it uses dashes between words. And your job is to replace all those dashes with underscores to make it snake case. So in order to do that, you may need to research a little bit about how you can replace characters in a string. So it's definitely intentional that this one is last in the problem set. You may need to do a little bit of research, do some Googling, figure out how you can replace all of a specific character in a string with another specific character. So you can see some sample input and output. Hello dash world, when we pass it into kebab to snake, should return hello underscore world. And one key point about all these exercises, no console.logs, these are all return statements. Okay, so in the next video, we'll go over some solutions.